morning. What's going on, everyone? How are we all doing this morning? Must have been some sort of update. I have like some sort of color icons over here. Interesting. What's everybody up to? Welcome to Wednesday Live. Welcome to Homebuilt Workshop. I hope all of you are doing great. As we get all adjusted here, I'm wiggling everything around. Do not adjust. Do not attempt to adjust your screen. Who remembers that? I do. Anyway, what's going on? Let's see. You guys are here before me. Right on. That's awesome. Paul's here. Paul, hello, everyone. Hope you're all having a great week. Harry Dude, what's up? Hey, Paul. Paul and Harry Dude, what's going on? How you guys doing? Robert's here. Robert says, howdy, peoples. Robert, what's going on? Right on. Paul says, hey, dude, how you doing? Harry Dude says, at work, battling through a cold. Oh, the joys. How are you doing? Well, Harry Dude, I'm sorry you're fighting a cold. Never good when we're feeling under the weather. That makes it really hard to battle through. So, hope you get to feeling better soon. Paul says, I'm okay. Ankle is finally starting to heal. Boom. 2 thumbs up, Paul. Right on. That is good news right there. That's what we want. Get that ankle healed up so you can be back to 100%. Robert says, just got a cup of mocha coffee made for the start. Right on. Perfect timing. Mine's not mocha coffee, but it's regular coffee. And a cheers to all of you. Hope you're all having a great week. Ooh, that's good. That's good stuff this morning. I don't know why. I make it exactly the same every single time. I don't do anything different. Same amount of scoops, same amount of water, everything. But some days it just tastes better than others. Dastardly Dave's here. Dave says, sup all. Dave, how you doing? What's going on? Paul says, uh-oh, the coffee addict has now shown his face. It's right here. How does that? Anyway, Harry Dude says reversed. At least it's not in portrait. Really? It's reversed? I've got it up on the laptop there. Really? That's interesting. Is that not how it normally is? Did I do something wrong? Maybe it is reversed, huh? Huh. I don't know. Isn't that how it always is? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry if I've messed something up. But yes, you're right. At least we're not in a little box this way. Time Surfing Alien! What's up? Time Surfing says, good morning. I like that little sunrise icon thing there. That's cool. Good morning to you. And Donna's here. Donna, coffee up. Good morning, Donna. Coffee cheers to you. Robert says, yep, I remember the Twilight Zone. Yep, do not attempt to adjust your screen. I don't remember what else it used to say, but... Tony! Morning, sunshine! Good morning, Tony! Man, right on. Harry Dude says you're suddenly right-handed. That's weird. I wonder why I thought this was how it always is, because I would point to stuff, and I don't know. Oh, boy. Newbies, I'm telling you. Time Servant says, unless you have, no, what? Nam, what? Oh, Dave says, oh, yeah, Craftsman's backwards. Oh, yeah. Huh, I wonder why. I wonder what's up with that. Why are we mirrored? You're right. It's Nam. Oh, I got you now. It took me a minute. Nam's crack. That's weird. Took me a minute. Well, that is very strange. I don't know why. I guess I'm gonna have to be right-handed today, even though this is not my right hand. But that's weird. And if I Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we'll just be reversed for a while, and I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Let's see. Robert says, for anyone that likes a good cocoa mix, check out the Silly Sly Cow brand. As far as I know, they have 4 flavors and all good. Interesting. I don't drink flavored coffee all that much, but I'll keep that in mind. True Sound Studios, Phil, you made it out of bed, man. What's going on? How are you doing this morning? How's everything several hours that away? Well, I guess since we're backwards, it's going to be that way, except I'm pointing west, and that's actually east. Time Servant says, I believe that was Outer Limits. I don't remember. Was it Outer Limits or Twilight Zone? I don't really remember. Time Surfing likes the plus crow sign. I don't know why. I need an IT I need an AV guy, Phil. I don't know why. It's just me. I guess it depends on if I accidentally hit something wrong when I'm setting it up. Paul says that I hear that the Lord reached down from heaven, touched. You're now healed and right-handed. Oh man. Oh boy. No, I am still left-handed. I can assure you that it hasn't changed. Do not attempt to adjust your screen. Everything is good. I must have just messed something up. True Sound says life is good. Just trying to get my YouTube channel up and going. Yeah. So I got to scoot this over just a little bit before I fall off my seat. So True Sound and my buddy Phil, we played in a cover band for quite a few years here in Colorado Springs. And Phil's going back through and we got a lot of recordings from a lot of our performances. And just making some little kind of compilation videos for some of the different stuff, different songs and things. And putting it up on his channel, trying to share some of that. It's just some fun times, some fun videos, and some good music, if I might say so myself. But yeah, if you wanna see, I don't know how many of them you have of live performance, Phil, or just kind of the compilations you've been putting together. But you want to see this guy, and as well as Phil of True Sound, playing some music together, having some fun. Go check it out. Oh, that's right. You know what? I just remembered, Phil. You had asked me if I had any performances, any recordings, and I forgot to send those to you. So I'm going to have to do that when we're done here and try to get those over. I know I have a couple. I just don't know how many. So yeah, I got to get those sent over. So sorry about that. I totally spaced that out. But yeah, go check out True Sound Studios and see some, if you want to see a bunch of goofballs playing some fun 90s, 2000s music and just having a good time. Paul says Outer Limits. Oh, okay. Corey says, I already had breakfast. Now my medication is dessert. Plus I have a doctor's appointment today too. Well, you got to have dessert after breakfast. And have fun at the appointment. I had an eye doctor appointment this past week. And they said, well, now I know why you can't see. So I got a set of prescription lenses coming. Hopefully they get here pretty quick. But so you might end up seeing me wearing glasses in the video more than once. It's that close-up stuff. It's really getting to me. I got the one-eyed squint and the tilt your head kind of thing. And yeah, so We'll see how that goes when I get them in. Yeah. True Sound says, nope, I can barely work my iPhone. That's all right. But you can run sound, though. Phil's a great sound man. Robert says, Outer Limits may be correct. I don't remember. Your home workshop sign's also backwards. Yeah, apparently, for some reason, everything's backwards. I don't know why. I really don't. because looking at the screen, everything looks correct except all the words are backwards. So I don't know what's going on. And Jimmer's here. Colonel Sanderson. What's going on, man? What are you working on today? What's on the lift? Normally it's what's on the bench, but for Jim, I know it's what's on the lift. But what are you guys all working on? What sort of projects do you have on your bench? We're going to get to mine here shortly because I think it's done, at least for now. But we'll get to that here in just a little bit. But I want to know what you guys are working on. What kind of projects? True Sound says, I have about 10 shows recorded. Yeah, that's awesome. I know you just sent me one, and I just brought it up just before we started here, so I'll check that out once we're done. Paul says, got good news today. I'm now the official provider of T-style guitars for James Burton, Elvis guitar player, and he's going to pass the guitars I provided to other people in Nashville. Dude, that's awesome. Right on. Congratulations. That is great. Right on, Paul. Congrats. Well done. Well done. I love it when people get that kind of recognition, and especially people that I know. Those of us here, we got everybody's back, and that's awesome, Paul. Right on. Time Surfing says, Jeff has entered the Bizarro universe. Oh, anyways, Paul says, for people to try. That's awesome. Donna says, sounds like good music. Donna, it was some great music. Well, it is some great music. Yes. The grunge stuff and, all the good stuff from the 90s and early 2000s, the Nirvana and Stone Temple Pilots and all that kind of stuff. That's what we played, and it was awesome. It was awesome. A lot of fun. And yeah, I miss it a lot, and really kind of want to get back into it for sure. But finding the right people, Phil, is kind of hard. As I know you know as well. Time Serpent says, right on, Paul. Paul says, I think it's YouTube. A buddy from Canada had a live stream last night, and it was backwards also. Interesting. Maybe they switched something. Maybe they added a setting, something you have to go in and change. I do see, I know you guys can't see it on the screen, but I've got some icons that run right here. One's the mute button. Remember I hit the mute button a couple times ago? One's the mute button, and there's like a switch camera button. There's something here now that has some sort of a colored icon. There's like a little blue something or other. I don't remember that being there before. So maybe they've done some sort of an update. Let's see what this does. Yeah, I don't really want to click anything because I'll probably I'll mess something up. But yeah, there's definitely something different there. Phil says, technically, I'm an audio engineer. I'm sorry, Phil. I didn't try to... my apologies for downplaying the title. It was not my intent. Whatever we're calling it, you're good at it. Jimmer says, Ford F-150. Turbos and manifolds being replaced. Oh, well, that doesn't sound all that fun. Put a bigger turbo on it, and then they'll appreciate the extra power. And they'll keep coming back because, man, he worked on my car or my truck, and now it's got so much more power. I don't know. It's great. Robert says, you're broadcasting from a parallel universe today. Yeah, I guess so. Time Turpin says, I've been painting my son's guitar, making 30-second shorts with the progress. That's awesome. Right on. Tenmay's here. Tenmay says, hello, great to see you. Good morning, Tenmay. Or good afternoon, or good evening. How are you doing today? Corey had a nice big steak for breakfast this morning. That's awesome. Steak and eggs? I haven't had that in years. What a great breakfast. Mike's here. Mike says, hey, all, just checking in, but can't stay. We'll watch in replay and join you next week. Right on, Mike. Well, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have an awesome day. Time Servant says if you're on selfie cam, it'll be backwards. But I haven't done anything different. I've been using the same setup. It seems like there's always something, huh? We're stuck in, horizontal mode, and now I've got this maybe figured out, but now we're backwards. I don't know. Always something. We're just gonna roll with it. True Sound says I'm calling the Junkhead releases full of shtick. There is a lot of that in there too. Tanmay says you're activating my right brain. I know. I'm sorry. I don't know why everything's reversed now. I can't explain it. Nor do I see what I may have done to cause this. Mike says, wow, left is right, right is left. Our world is really messed up. I know, and it's my fault, apparently. I'm sorry for messing up everybody's world. I have no words. Jim says, no fun. Studs break off in the head. Oh, no. You have to weld nuts to it or heat it up or drill it out or something. Oh, man. That is no fun. Francisco's here. Francisco, good morning to you. How are you doing? Francisco says, hey, Jeff, how you doing? Hello from Dominican Republic. Right on. Francisco, we are doing good. We're doing good. It's a good day here. It's supposed to be a nice week this entire week. And, yeah, we're doing great. I hope you're doing the same. Time Surfing says the universe is correcting itself. Hopefully it does, because this backwards thing is weird. Paul says steak, eggs, biscuits, and gravy, drooling. That does sound good, doesn't it? Biscuits and gravy. Oh, man. And Annie's here. Annie says, morning all. Good morning. What's going on? Robert says, just click my thumbs up icon today. Have you? Yeah, right on. Hit that thumbs up. Appreciate it. Mike says, Jeff is the walrus. I don't get it. I'm sorry. Is that Beatles song? Is that what you're referencing? Maybe there's something else that I don't know. I'm not up on all this hip stuff. Crafted by Ray's here. Ray! Good morning, Ray. How are you doing this fine Wednesday morning? Right on. Everybody go check out Ray's channel, too. Ray makes a lot of fun projects. Desperately Dave says, I played guitar at the first grunge rock and roll fantasy camp. Oh, the DeLeo brothers, Jerry Cantrell, Kenny Olson, 3 of the 4 Buck Cherry guys. I can keep going. So fun. Nice. Man, that's cool, Dave. What a cool lineup to play with. Nice. Corey says, at least I do know how to read backwards in the first place. Robert says, sounds good for breakfast. Oh, Mike, I got you. Mike says Beatles reference, sound samples being backwards. I got you. I haven't heard that in forever. I've forgotten about the backwards stuff. True Sound says, check your email. Sent you a mix of breed. If you like it, I'll post a video tonight. Right on. Yes, I saw that email just before we went live. And I'll check it out as soon as we're done. I'm sure it's fine. Except the vocals. Paul says, Jeff, since you're backwards, make sure you don't play any old rock records. Summon the devil, as they will be playing backwards automatically. Yeah, who knows? Ray says, good morning. I'm doing great, thanks. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Ray. Who wants to see the sander? Because I think that thing's done. That's what I've been working on the last couple of days. And while you guys tell me what you're working on, that's what I've been working on. And I think it's at a point that I think we can put the seal on it and at least call it done for now. Like there's one more thing that I want to do, but I'll show you. Shall we go handheld and be all shaky for a few minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like? Hit the thumbs up if you want me to do that. See what I did there? True Sound, you sing it just E? Just E? I think I know what you mean, but... Robert says, yeah, show us. Time Serpent says, I seen the laminate was on. Yes, we're going handheld. My apologies for, how am I going to do this without covering the camera? There we go. All right. Sorry for the shaky bits here, but let's do it. Aha, look at that. We have a laminate. A laminate on the work table. I'm trying to find an angle that works. It looks super cool. And I got a few stickers here that I'm going to apply. But yeah, got this all on yesterday. And then also, how am I going to do this? We're going to have to switch angles again. Camera's in the way. Everything's in the way here. This is very awkward. I have the a dust shroud on here. It's got a 4-inch hose port on the back, so I can connect a dust collection to. The only thing that I think I'm going to change, boy, the lighting is horrible over here, so we're going to get out of this position here shortly. The only thing I want to do is repaint this. I painted this black because this is entirely 3D printed, but I miscalculated the amount of filament that I have. So I ran out partway through and had to switch to a different filament because I didn't have another roll of the same color. So I started printing this red and then ran out halfway through and had to switch to black. So I painted it black, but I don't think I like it black. I think I want it red. So I believe I'll take this back off, paint this red. It's just, I don't know. I think the red will be a nice little contrast there. But this was one of the biggest challenges so far, mainly because I don't know, I wasn't sure how to go about doing it. So it's printed in 3 pieces because this thing won't fit all on the 3D printer bed at once. So there's this bottom section and the top section, and then I printed this all as one as well. And then they're glued together, held on with a wooden bracket. Let's see if we can get down there. Where are we at? Yeah, so there's a wooden bracket that connects to the table here that supports this 3D printed stuff. So, yeah, and then yesterday I got the laminate all on there. Now we're ready. It's one of those breakfast nooks. What are those they put in the house? You know, the little area where you sit at a bar stool and you like eat your breakfast? It's like a little mini countertop, basically. And I like it. It's awesome. So I think now it's ready. Like I said, I want to repaint this. I'll probably do that when we're done, just to put that back to red. And it's ready to be put back in place so that it can be put to work. And yeah, super cool. What a project. It's been fun, and I'm actually really happy to have it at this step. I just think it looks cool. Nice countertop on there. I felt there's one little bump. Just a slight bump. Where is that bump? Right there. I must have a little piece of dust or something underneath there. It's not going to affect anything really, but that's about the only imperfection that I noticed. Other than that, it came out really well. So yeah, that's where we're at on the sander project. I'm calling it done. I've got the video edited. Let me sit back down here. Quit shaking you guys around. I don't want to give anybody a headache. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. This video at the moment will be the last one in the little series of building this thing, and then it's time to move on to something else. Tanmay says, I've been working on fixing my guitar's action. Nice, right on. Paul says, like the counting cars guy, Jeff, bring out that new shiny sander. Paul says, nice, might look better without those backwards stickers on it. It would be kind of awkward, wouldn't it? Like if I actually printed them backwards. Jim says you added decals. Well, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm gonna put a few decals on there. Yeah, just we got to personalize it a little bit. Put some on our breakfast countertop. Sit out here with a bowl of cereal. It'd be kind of weird, but some decals on there. Time Surfing says that looks absolutely amazing. Thank you, Time Surfing. Tanmei says it's glowing, and he says, "Wow, that looks amazing." Well, thank you. Yeah, that was my first time installing laminate, and the first piece was the long strip around the edge. It wasn't hard. I'm gonna have to. No, what am I saying? It took me a minute to figure out exactly how much glue I needed, but I put on a second coat basically on all of it, and once I put the second coat on, it really stuck well. The first coat, it kind of wanted to peel a little bit, but yeah, I'm pretty happy. For the first time of ever installing laminate, it turned out great. I'm super happy with it. Paul says, so the dust collector is left-handed also? Meaning the dust collector fitting is on the correct end? It's not a left-handed dust collector. It's funny. That's funny. Jim says some jerk used all your black filament. No, it was the red filament I ran out of. See, I did so many test prints. I've got a trash can here that's full of different things. Like this is one where I was playing around with, having this connect to, like it would slip down over some square tubing kind of thing, playing around with different ideas. So I would print a test piece and then decide that I didn't really want to use that. So then I'd make a change, basically print another one, and I've used so much filament, not just the red, but I started off doing the test prints with the red, but I should have just used some other random colors instead of this and saved this for the end. But for some reason, I didn't think I was going to be going through that much filament, but I did. And when it came time to print the actual one, I ran out. So that's all right. It was the red, not the black. I got lots of black left. But the red I used it all up. Yeah, so some jerk used all the red filament. Time Surfing says it will definitely help keep your pieces from getting scratched by trash. Yeah, it's a lot slicker than just that MDF. MDF's pretty flat, in general. But yeah, having this laminate on there really makes it slick. It's going to be super nice, sanding things with this. Oh, as a side note, I've got a fair bit of this laminate left over. Basically, one smaller offcut and then one that's kind of larger. I need some ideas. What kind of creative ideas do you guys have for using up this kind of a laminate? I've thought about, I don't know if you could make like pick guards out of it. I don't know. Maybe you could glue it to another thin piece of wood. I don't know. I don't want to throw it away because there's a fair bit, but it's also one of those things that unless I can think of some cool uses for it, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So I'm open to suggestions. What sort of cool projects? I did think about a guitar, right? Build a guitar and put a sheet of this laminate on the top and maybe on the back. It could be like the Countercaster or something. But yeah, I am completely open to suggestions and ideas. Maybe you guys have made different things from it in the past, and they're, you've got some uses for it. So I don't know. Let me know. What do you think? I just don't want to throw it away. Robert says, looks like it should work out just great. Yeah, I think so. Tanmei says, or asks, I should say, how do you think 3D printers would advance in like the next 5 to 10 years? Oh man, Tanmei, that is a great question. I love questions like this. Now, of course, I'm no 3D printer engineer, scientist type of developer or anything like that. But if you think about it, right, 3D printing really, hasn't been all that, it's not an old technology necessarily. well, I mean, it's been around a while, but I guess what I'm saying is it's maybe in the last 10 years or so, right? Maybe 15, I guess, but it seems like in the last 10 years, um, it has just it has grown so much. The machines, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever, the machines were pretty much all homemade, right? They're cut out of like plywood and, stuff people, built from scratch almost. And, had to spend a ton of time tuning things up and, getting everything to work. And now, I mean, for a couple $100 or less, you can get a completely usable and, halfway decent machine. So I don't know. Really. I think the sky's the limit as to where this is going to go. I think we'll continue to see more features in the future. I don't know exactly what those are going to be. But from using my latest one, the Bamboo Labs printer, I mean, it does a lot of the stuff for you. All of the calibration. I mean, maybe not all of it, but it does the majority of the calibration, the bed leveling, all that sort of thing. I mean, honestly, I can't even think of something that I would add to it to make it more advanced. So I don't really know how to speculate exactly what we're going to see in 5 to 10 years. I believe the prices probably will come down as more of this technology filters down into the other tiers of printers, if that makes sense. We might see larger build sizes, coming down into a better price point. But I don't know. I don't know what else. What do you guys think? Like, what do you think could be added? That's kind of like saying, what are cars going to be like in 10 years? I have no idea. I mean, they're talking self-driving cars and all that sort of thing, which sounds terrible to me, but still, I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty impressive. That's something that I think about from time to time. Speaking of the cars, in 30, 40, 50 years, right? What's my daughter going to be driving? What? Hopefully it's some old thing like I like, but chances are it's probably not. But I mean, think about that, right? In 50 years from now, what is going to be the normal quote unquote car that she has to drive? What sort of 3D printer will we have in 50 years, let alone 5 years? It's hard to imagine, and really, I have no idea. It's kind of exciting to think about, but on the other hand, it's almost scary. Maybe it's just that whole unknown thing, right? I don't know. That's an interesting question, and I really do like that. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect year to year, even with new cars. Let's see. So Tanmay, I don't have a great a great answer. Just a little bit of speculation, and I have no idea. I'll bet you though, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some new filaments, newer. I mean, there's so many filaments out there now. I don't even have an idea of what that could even look like. Maybe we'll see more actual metal 3D printing filter down to the more home printers as well. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. Robert says, you might just try tapping the bump on the sander with a mallet to see if it'll go ahead and force the bump down. I'm going to have to try that. Yeah, I wasn't sure because I don't know what's under there. Like, what if it's a little rock what if I got a rock under there and I tap it with a hammer? I wonder if it'll poke through or just shove down into the MDF. I guess there's only one way to find out. Jim says, did you try the dust collector yet? It looks great. Thank you, but I haven't officially tried it yet because I made it a 4-inch port so that I can hook the large dust hose from my drum sander up to it. And where it is right now, I don't have access to that 4-inch port. So I won't really officially be able to try the dust collector until I get this into place, which is going to be a job and a half in and of itself. I'm gonna try this out in the video. We're gonna, I'll just grab something and sand it, but it will not have the dust collector officially connected. Just like I said, because I can't, the hose isn't long enough to reach over here where the sander is at the moment. So yeah, that's gonna have to wait. And I think it'll work. I've sort of unscientifically studied the dust coming off of this, and I'm pretty sure it's going to go right into the little shroud, and then it should, I'm pretty sure it'll work pretty well. Pretty sure. That's too much. I think it's going to be all right, but if not, it's all 3D printed, so we'll just change it. 3D printed and wood, a wood base for it. And there's one reason that I decided to go with the 3D printing and the wood base, and that's because it's easy to change. The wood base is only screwed to the table. I can take that off. I can 3D print new pieces, or completely toss this idea and go with something completely different. So I basically needed somewhere to start for the dust collection. I tried a bunch of different ideas, and I just decided, okay, we need something. I need a baseline. So I'm going to try this. If for some reason it doesn't work, which honestly I think it's going to be fine, it's super easy to change, and it's not like I've welded on special arms or tabs or something to the machine that I may have to cut off or modify later. This way I can just unscrew it and start over if I need to re-engineer it, which is totally possible. Most of this thing, I feel very comfortable with, the way it's built, welding pieces in. But the dust collection was one area where I was like, yeah, I'm not completely sure what the best way is to go here. So we'll find out. Getting it moved to where it's going to live. That's another thing that I've been trying to figure out. So I have to take the table off for sure, get it over to where it needs to go, put the table back on in place. The problem is, though, the whole entire sander itself, even without the table, is very heavy. So it's going to be, I need one of those, those warning labels or that you see on a big cardboard box, like a refrigerator or something, that those 2-man lift. This is definitely a 2-man lift to move. I can scoot it around, but I think there's zero chance that I'm going to be able to move this from here, basically take it outside to where I can take pictures of it, and then get it to where it's going to finally live. I can't do that by myself. So if anybody's in the neighborhood and wants to help me carry a heavy sander. Time Serpent says you need to figure out how to turn your mistakes back into filament. Yes. There are ways to do that. Like, they make machines that you can take your parts, old parts and things, and it grinds it up and remelts it, and makes you a new filament, kind of recycles. I don't have one of those, and the ones I've seen are sort of pricey, but it is out there. Time Servant says wax will help too. Yes, it will. It would. Wax would be good. Corey says, have you ever thought of 3D print a lumber square? Just an idea. Like a something like a speed square kind of thing. This one's not 3D printed, but I've seen quite a few designs for that. Somewhere stashed back in here. Sometime at one point, I needed something to mark off a 30-degree angle, and I absolutely did 3D print one. I was making something. I think I used this way back when I built the saddle stand for my daughter. I needed to mark some 30-degree angles and 3D printed a custom 30-degree square. I've got a couple other things. Well, anyway, I'm not going to dig through the toolbox for 5 minutes, but yeah, just that's one thing that I really use my 3D printer for. I don't do don't make like little trinkets and dragons and stuff like that. I've made some because my daughter likes them. But to me, the 3D printer, it's just another tool, right? If you need a square, I'm gonna just print it. I print templates and jigs and parts and pieces, and it's just been an awesome thing to have, to be able to create custom stuff like that. But yeah, being able to make a square or stuff like that, super cool. Time Servant says a coffee table from the laminate. That might be cool. Hey dude, headstock laminate. Yes, I thought about that. Robert says, do you have enough to cover the work tabletop like this one over here? No. I don't know, actually. See, I might, but I had a little problem when I was cutting this stuff out. And I don't have a work table that's 4x8, big enough to support this entire sheet. So I had it half hanging off the table while I was cutting it. And I used one of those oscillating multi-tool things, those little, and I was cutting it along. Well, and then it ended up slipping off the table, and then the laminate bent in a weird angle and put a nasty crack in part of it. So if it weren't for that crack, I might have enough to cover the table, but I don't think I do because part of it cracked. I don't know. That might make it too dark though in here too. I am noticing that. I like the blacked out kind of look that the sander has at the moment, but it is dark. Dastardly Dave says pickguard. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was thinking about something like that, but I should have brought a piece in. Well, here, it's got a little bit of glue on the back. I don't know what you'd get on the end. Like if you beveled that just a little bit, I wonder what it would look like. Well, it would look just like that. It almost turns black when you bevel it. This is the part of the show where I cut myself and have to rush in to try to scrape the end and see. Yeah, it sort of turns black. Let's see here. I'm just taking a razor blade, like a scraper, and kind of putting a light bevel on that. That might work. Yeah, it kind of does. It turns black. That might be cool. Yeah, I don't know. I got to come up with something. I want to try lasering it too, putting it on the laser and see if you can cut it or maybe engrave it and see what it looks like. I don't know what all you could make out of it, but I got to play around with that a little bit. Once I got to get the sander back in place first. That'll free up a big chunk in the shop. And then I want to experiment with that laminate. I'm sure there's cool stuff you can do with it. Here it is, laminate the router tabletop. That's a good idea because it is just plywood. That's a great idea. Maybe I should remake that. Because my router table is kind of just a little homemade deal that I made to fit kind of on the wing of my little table saw. That's a good idea. I like that idea, Harry Dude. Maybe I could remake the whole thing. I'm looking at it. Sorry, I'm not paying attention. Yeah, that's a good idea. Time Servant says elemental printing in 50 years. Yeah, we're printing in atoms and. Harry Dude says, I'm hoping filament recycling will be more accessible to the home user. Prototyping is a big waste. Yes, Harry Dude. I completely agree. Like of all this pile, you'll see it when the video comes out. I've got a whole stack of different prototypes. Like I realized that I'm using up my red, and I switched to just using some random stuff. And yeah, I've got a bunch, a bunch of scrap pieces here that I'm just throwing out. Yes, that's a good one. Hopefully it will. Hopefully it will, because I would be totally okay. You've got to keep your filament separate, right? You can't recycle PETG with ABS and all that, so you got to keep them separate. But I would be totally fine with that if I could load in a bunch of PLA parts and make some recycled PLA filament, switch it over to PETG, and print recycle that filament. Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be really nice. Paul says the 3D printer should be able to print you a cup of coffee. It would then be perfect. It is already perfect. I think that's those, what are they? Those Keurigs? It's kind of like 3D printing. You just put the little cup in there and press a button and out comes a cup of coffee. Jimmer says at the rate 3D has progressed, I think it will be commonplace in homes as much as Wi-Fi. May even become where you order something such as a figurine and print it at home instead of shipped. Yeah, I mean, it could be something like that. And they're already getting, they've come to the price point where they're really not, they're not out of reach. I remember before I really got interested in trying it out, I heard about all these people that were making them out of the, like laser cut plywood and that sort of thing. And it was more like it was more of a hobby, I guess. Just something that somebody did, right? You worked on your 3D printer and then you finally got it working and you could print, I don't know, a smiley face or whatever it was. But now, I mean, you can buy an Ender 3, which is my first 3D printer. You can get one for less than $200, and it's a totally fine printer. It's not as fast, but I used it for years. I printed that square, and I printed so many other things on that printer, and it works just fine as long as you keep everything level and clean and all that. And yeah, the prices have continued to, seems like they've continued to come down, and the features that they're included are, there's more and more. But yeah, something like that, it might be, maybe you order a thing, like you said, Jim, and instead of sending you the thing, the file goes to the 3D printer. Maybe it's some sort of proprietary something or other. It just goes to your printer. A few hours later, there's your thing. Who knows? Paul says, in 40 years, Haley will be driving you to your latest guitar gig, playing with the no longer Rolling Stones, right beside Keith Richards. Yeah, he'll still be there. Yep. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. 50 years from now, she might be driving me somewhere, but I don't know. I don't know about that. Robert says 50 years, they may have self-teleporters. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? We were supposed to have flying cars according to Back to the Future, right? Haven't seen those yet. Game Sharks asks, will I be posting some scroll saw videos? At the moment, I don't have anything planned for the scroll saw, but I don't know, maybe. What sort of projects are you interested in? I haven't used my scroll saw in a long time, so it wouldn't be bad to try to do some projects. What would be interesting? What would you like to see? I'm open to suggestions. Time Surfing says, put a block of wood on top of the laminate before bumping with a mallet. I'm gonna have to try that. There's a block of wood right there. I'm gonna set that aside. We'll bump that little nub in just a minute. Actually, maybe we should do it right now. And if I ruin it, you'll see it live. Jim says they're playing with it right now, printing in chocolate. So I expect food to be part of the industry. I go to a restaurant and watch your food be made in front of you as you wait. Yes, the 3D printed chocolate. I've seen that. Actually, now that I'm thinking about that, right? Have you guys seen the 3D printers that print concrete for houses? Maybe that's something we'll see more. Maybe we'll see more large scale type things like that, right? So if you haven't seen it and you get a bored moment on the internet, look that up. Concrete 3D printer, right? So it's exactly what it sounds like, just like a small 3D printer, but it squirts out concrete and it builds these houses in layers. I don't remember where they're doing it, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised actually. We see more things like that. You know, you want to build a house, the concrete thing rolls up and just there's your foundation. I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I've seen the chocolate ones. It's pretty crazy. Tanmay says 3D printed coffee. I would love a French vanilla filament. Yeah, you know, like I said, I don't drink flavored coffee, but once in a great while, that the French vanilla, I kind of enjoy a French vanilla coffee. I don't put the flavorings in there. I just will get the coffee like the Dunkin' Donuts one. Really like that one, but it's like once a year or once every 2 years. Yeah, you know how the coffee shops, you know, you can get like the little foam designs. Maybe the 3D print like prints foam on top of your coffee. I don't know. Jimmer says, yeah, yes, metal 3D too. Build the car parts at the shop instead of waiting on shipments. Yeah. You know, they totally exist, 3D prints, metal 3D printers. They're not quite affordable yet, but yeah, hopefully something like that maybe will become more affordable. You know, some of the challenge, and maybe this is where we'll see some advancements too, is in the designs, right? Like if you want to 3D print a car part, let's say it's a replacement part for a, I don't know, for your truck, the truck you're working on, the F-150, right? You need a new exhaust manifold because it's cracked. You've got to have that model, right? That's the key, right? If the model is not modeled correctly, it's not going to fit. So would that come down to an advancement in the 3D scanning to scan the broken manifold to create a new one? Or would there be maybe some database of car parts out there that maybe the parts companies maintain, right? The people that make the parts now, instead of making the parts, maybe they focus on making the files because they've already got them. You know, I would imagine for almost everything. Maybe instead of selling the parts, they sell files. Great. We're probably creating an industry right here. They sell the files, and then you just download it and print the parts to assemble. I don't know, but I could see that. You know, instead of calling up the parts place to get a replacement manifold, you just say, hey, I need to replace this manifold. I need the file, you know, and you pay the whatever fee for the file. And there you go. You just send it to your metal 3D printer. I could totally see that. That doesn't sound out of reach to me. Time Surfing says furniture dollies. Yes, furniture dollies would be nice. Except I don't have one. I got 2 furniture dollies. You just lift. Yeah, I don't have one. But that would be nice. Heritage says stick a pin in the lump, then reheat it in case it's an air bubble. Oh yeah, true. I don't know what it is. Let's hit it with a hammer. I don't know if to me it feels like a little rock or something. Let's hit it real quick. So the little lump is right there. I don't want to lose it. It feels flatter. I think this block of wood's too big. Let me put this table down. It is. It's flatter. I can still feel a tiny bit. It is flatter. It's flatter, but not perfectly flat. But it's better. I don't know, maybe I'll smack it a few more times. Robert says, may want to put some roller base with the locking wheels. Yes, that would not be a bad idea. Wouldn't be a bad idea at all. I think if I was going to do that, I would probably pick up the table. There's about a 3-inch gap at the bottom before the first cross member thing. I almost think if I was going to do that, I would cut that 3 inches off, weld a plate on the bottom, and so right at the intersection of where the frame is on the bottom, weld the plate, then I could screw the wheels onto the plate, because right now if I add wheels, it's going to raise it up even higher. And right now, I don't think I want it any higher than it currently is. So I would probably drop that off, or chop that 3-inch piece off of there to add the wheels. And maybe down the road, that'll be something I do. I don't know. Because that would be nice to be able to actually roll this around. I wish I'd have thought about that before. I probably would have done that, like way back at the beginning when I first started welding on this thing. I probably would have cut that off, welded some plates on there. That'd have been nice. Jimmer says, should I patent my trailer emblem? I was thinking about it the other night. Might be a moneymaker with the overlanding Jeep trailers out there. I mean, it's not a bad idea. I don't know if you could. You might be able to. I don't know. Since it's based on the Jeep thing, I don't know. But I don't think it's a bad idea. You could always try it. Yeah, and then sell them. Time surfing reminded me we're backwards. Because that was a left angle, not a right angle. Sorry about that. Robert says, Tanmar from 3x3 Custom got a 3D printer. She's using it to build all kinds of jigs and clamps for her shop. Yeah, there's so many things you can do. The sky's the limit. Especially with these now, with these carbon fiber infused filaments. I mean, there's the strength on some of those is getting up there. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. Time Surfing says, for mica curls easy when not glued down. I noticed that. Paul says, remaking a router table insert, new video. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Jimmer says, do all the tops, router, drill press, etc. Yeah, that's an option. I'm afraid it would get too dark in here. Like if everything's black. I mean, I think it'd be cool, but like I like the blacked out look on the sander. But when I have most of the lights off, it's kind of like a dark hole right there. So yeah, I don't know. I could remake the router table. That would be cool. I don't think I'll remake yet anyway the drill press table, which is also a small router table. But yeah, I have plenty of that stuff to redo this little router thing. Might have to do it. We'll 3D print something for it. Time Surfing Alien says, seen those fellas in the third world countries with homemade rigs, pelletize and extrude into filament? I have not seen that. I mean, I've seen the machines, but I've not seen the ones you're talking about, actually. Jimmer says, honestly, we'd be lucky to be here in 30 years, Jeff. Well, you said it, not me, but yeah, that's what I was thinking. No, I think 30 years. 40 years, I'm not too worried about 30. 40 is getting there. 50, I don't know. I don't know. Crafted by Ray asks, are you ever going to have another challenge like you did? I put that birdhouse. That's one of my best videos I did. It was a lot of fun. You know what, Ray? That is something I actually thought about recently. I think that would be cool, something like that, like a springtime one or something. I don't know what that would be, but I'm totally down to do something like that again. We'll just put it all out there, and maybe not a challenge, but kind of a build along sort of thing. I don't know, like where everybody builds the same thing, like we did with the birdhouse or bird feeder. I'm totally down with that. What are some ideas? What kind of ideas do you have? What do you think would be cool if we did something like that? and we can totally put it together. You know, I don't want it to be something super hard. If somebody doesn't want it to be, right? Like a birdhouse. You know, you can build a super simple, or you can go as complicated as you want. You know, I don't want to say, you know, it's the build a guitar challenge, because maybe not everybody can build a guitar. I don't know, but I want it to be accessible to anyone that wants to do it. But yeah, that'd be totally cool, and I think we should do it. I think we should. We've got a couple months to plan before we start getting into more spring type weather. What should it be? Let's all build an edge sander. No, no. But yeah, Ray, I'm down. Let me know if you got ideas. And anybody else, you wanna jump in on the build along thing? I don't know what it is yet, but we're planning it right now. Yeah, I'm totally okay with doing that again. That was fun. I enjoyed seeing everybody's creations. Paul says 3D printed food, biscuits and gravy, printed while you wait. Doesn't sound as appetizing. Maybe not the gravy. But what about the biscuits, right? You could squirt the biscuit into the thing and it could print the biscuit. You could do like custom shaped biscuits printed. It just squirts the stuff out. Like the concrete house printer thingy. You could make like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you could do something with it. Don't print my gravy though, because it's going to plug up with the sausage in there. Time Surfing says a little bit of mineral spirits will allow you to peel the laminate up enough to get the trash out and let dry completely, put more contact cement and repress. Oh, interesting. I did use, what did I use? I used lacquer thinner. The strip on the edge, excuse me, the strip along the edge, I kind of got a little sloppy. I think I got some adhesive on the table, and then when I was handling it, I had a bunch of glue on the outside. But I took just a tiny light bit of lacquer thinner on the outside, and it cleaned it off. So, but yeah, that's good to know. That's a good tip. Mineral spirits. Do you just kind of start soaking the edge, I'm guessing, and then let it slowly start to peel up? Yeah. Tanmay asks, do you use the LiDAR scanner in your iPhone? It seems so accessible, but not many people use it. I don't have an iPhone myself, so I don't really know. But I've heard about that. I've heard about that they have one in there. I have no experience with it. I do know that, although I've never used a LiDAR scanner, except the one on my 3D printer, actually. That's only for bed leveling. You don't get to scan stuff with it. I don't have any experience with any of it. I have worked with files that came from a scanner, a 3D scanner, and they're pretty impressive. So yeah, maybe I'm sure that's another area we're going to see some advancements in the coming years. Robert says some of the aerospace industry companies use a lot of 3D metal printing in their rocket builds. Yes, I've heard that. Paul says, since there's a high spot on the sander and you're such a perfectionist, you can just ship it to me and make yourself a perfect one. Let me know if you still have my address. Paul, I do not have the slightest clue what something like that would cost to ship. I don't know what it weighs, but it's got to be up there around 150, 200 pounds maybe, which isn't, it's not like a 600-700 pound cast iron something or other, but it's pretty hefty. I can't move it by myself. Maybe if I carried it like a camel and I like stood underneath and set it on my back, but yeah, that would be very expensive. Jimmer says 3D print Colonel Sanders wheels. I could print the wheels. I could print the wheels. I'd probably have to make the brackets out of something. Time Surfing says trademark it. There you go, Jim. Robert says hindsight being 20/20 and all that you know. He says I've seen some people build what they call a plastic reactor where they use high pressure and heat and turn plastic into fuel. Interesting. Jim says, yeah, I should look into trademarking. Yeah, try it. Tanmay says, you seem like you'd make a great teacher. Have you ever thought about releasing some courses for beginners, maybe like a guitar building or just general building knowledge? Well, first off, thank you, Tanmay. I really, truly appreciate that. And yeah, I have actually thought about that, doing some sort of a course, probably like a guitar building kind of thing, maybe cigar box guitar sort of thing, something like that. And maybe I'll have to bump that up a little higher on the list for this year. But yeah, something like that would be kind of cool. I've even thought about, I don't know how to say that. I'm totally not against, teaching and that sort of thing. I mean, that's kind of how I gear most of my videos anyway. Even though a lot of people that watch, kind of know, how to do stuff already. But I like to share my thought process and all that sort of thing, and I enjoy it. I enjoy, helping teach people different things, and like a course would totally be. I think a course would be cool. If I had the space, I think it would be. I think it'd be cool to do some in-person stuff. I know there's a person or a couple people anyway that have asked, "Hey, can I come and learn how to do such and such with you?" And I just don't have the facility to do that sort of thing. There's liabilities and stuff that you gotta make sure you're covered. But yeah, I'd be open to all that sort of stuff. So thank you, Tinmy. Time Surfing says, don't use much. A little goes a long way. Use a syringe for the Oh, good idea. Squirt it in there. Yeah. Time Surfing also says, check out copyrights. Jimmer. Paul's got to go. Says, have a great week, everyone. See you next Wednesday. Great show. Paul, thank you. Have an awesome week. Keep working on getting that ankle better. And congrats on the guitars you got to make. That's so cool. Right on. Have a good one, Paul. Robert says, Paul, have a good one. Yes. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, we are getting about to the point where probably ought to look at wrapping this up, and I got to finish. I got to repaint that dust shield and maybe put a couple stickers on the machine and basically wrap this one up, get that video edited. So I think, that being said, I think we will. I think we'll wrap this up here. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button as we wind this down here. And, show the YouTubes that this is the fun place to hang out on a Wednesday morning. Robert says, not sure if it's my keyboard or my fingers, but sometimes I skip letters in my typing. Sorry. Robert, no need to apologize. I know how that goes. I do it all the time. What I end up doing a lot is I'll be typing something that I need to capitalize the first letter, and somehow I'll end up capitalizing the first 2 or 3 letters. And I don't know why. So I have to back up and fix it. Happens all the time. Robert says, everyone stay safe and healthy. Yes. I want to wish you guys the best. Thanks for tuning in. And I hope you guys all have an awesome week. And it's hard to believe that we're winding down on the year. I can't wrap my head around that. So one of the videos I'm going to be doing towards the end of the month is, kind of my 10 projects. 10? 5. I'll have to look and see what I did last year. I think I did top 5 projects of the year. So I'll be looking into that and working on that video, kind of a compilation. I got to finish up this sander, which I already know that's going to be on that top 5 list for sure. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate all of you taking some time out of your day. Harry Dude says, catch you next week. Ray says, everyone have a great day. Right on, Ray. Let me know some ideas for the build along, and we'll do that. Totally do that. So that's it. We're done. We're going to get out of here. You guys, I hope you get some time. Spend with some friends, family. Get out in your shops. Build some cool things. Have some fun. Be safe. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. I can't say that enough. I appreciate you guys so much. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here and get back to work. Take care, everyone. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.